In November 2019, she became the first Hispanic elected as school board director in the East Stroudsburg Area School District. She's passionate about supporting professional organizations. She is a board member of the Broadhead Watershed Association, Latina Vida, Latinas on the Plaza, and Los Comadres. Modern Calabro, and an advisory board member for several organizations, including the Board of Hispanic Caucus Chairs and the Alliance for Positive Youth Development. In addition, she was appointed by Governor Tom Wolf to represent Poconos region on statewide commissions on redistricting, reform, and Latino affairs. So please help me welcome Dr. Rodriguez.
Hello, everybody. Good afternoon and happy Saturday. Thank you for coming on and spending this hot summer day on a educational conference. I think anytime that we have people, but especially young people, coming together for an education opportunity during their free time when they could be doing anything else, it speaks to the commitment, the passion, the dedication that you have as an individual to learn and to grow, to become a better person and to become more engaged in your community. I love seeing all of the faces. I was scrolling through the screen for those of you that have your video on. It's great to see your smiles and excited about being here with you. One of the things that Jessica didn't read from my bio, which is probably my most important job, is that I'm a mother. I'm the mother of 10-year-old twin boys. And so no matter what fancy things I've done or big accomplishments I've had that are mentioned in the bio, I always love to mention that I'm a mother, because I find that to be my biggest and most important job, is to raise two boys, two Hispanic boys in this country and in a location where I live. I was born and raised in New York City, but I live in the Poconos in Pennsylvania, as you might have heard from some of the items in my bio. And Pennsylvania, the area that we live in, is not as diverse, and it's a location where we have to work on a day-to-day to have representation and have a voice for kids like my two Puerto Rican sons and students like all of you that are on the line today. And so this conference and the time and energy that individuals are dedicating to support you is really special and valuable. And I'm excited to kick us off by hearing from you about what are some of the issues that you've been listening to, watching on the news, that have been bothering you, impacting you, that maybe you have or haven't had somebody to talk about and to support you and to tell you what you can do to make a difference, how you can get involved to make your community and society a better place. So a couple of things we can do. One, if you want to share, you can use the bottom of your screen on the right side. There is a reactions button. So if somebody says something that you want to just applaud, you can share with the hand clap, or you can use a thumbs up. If you want to speak, you can unmute yourself and give us a chance to call on you. And then one of the things that we do really well in our Leaders of Color Fellowship group on our weekly meetings is that we use the chat box. And so if you're not comfortable speaking on camera, or if your camera is not on and you want to use the chat box, feel free to type into the chat box and I'll read those comments as well. So who's going to be our brave volunteer to go first and share? What are some of the thoughts? How are you doing? What do you hope to get out of today's session?
May I speak?
Yes.
My name is Mikhail Messimore. I'm entering the 8th grade next year. I would just like to say thank you everyone for coming. So yeah. Hold on, could you repeat the question, please? I'm sorry.
Yeah, just want to hear what you're thinking. What do you want to learn today? What do you want to talk about today? What are some things that have been on your mind?
Well, I guess I wanted to learn how to make our voices be heard during the pandemic, because we obviously can't go out, and there's been a huge surge in cases recently because of the reopenings and the protests. So I wanted to learn how to stay safe and make our voices be heard.
Excellent. Thank you so much. And thank you for being brave and going first with all the little screens on here and everybody else. That was amazing. And you're absolutely right. In Pennsylvania, 2 days ago, the governor scaled back from 50% businesses having 50% capacity to 25% because of a rise in cases in Pennsylvania after reopening. So you are up to speed on the news. Thank you so much. Who else would like to share? What are you thinking? And again, feel free to use the chat box. I can go ahead and call on a couple of people and hopefully that'll help. Ariana, do you want to share what you're thinking? Can you unmute yourself?
Can you repeat what you said before? Because you were cutting out. My Wi-Fi made you cut out a lot.
Sheldon, you're unmuted, but I can't fully hear you. Are you trying to share something with us?
I was gonna ask you if you could repeat the question again because you were cutting out for me.
Oh, sure. I know. The benefit of Zoom is that we can all be together in different places, right? But the challenge is that sometimes the internet is unstable and we go in and out. So the question is really just a check-in to hear from you all. What are you thinking about? What are some questions you have? How can we support you today? So I'm going to ask Ariana to unmute herself and share, and then I can come back to you and give you a minute to think about what you'd like to share.
Okay. Thank you.
Thank you.
Hi, I'm Ariana. Well, today I'm excited to be speaking to the middle schoolers, and with everything that's going on right now, I feel like talking to the youth is extremely important. Since I'm only 16 myself, so I think that it's it's the future, and it's something that we have to work on together.
That was perfect. Thank you. And thank you for giving your time to support other young people. I'll tell you that I was 14 when I started helping my local assemblyman on his political campaign. And it just takes off from there because you see the needs in the community and you start seeing how, in terms of Michael's question, how can you make a difference and how you can be involved. So thank you. Sheldon, did you have a chance to think about something you want to share? Or a question you might have?
It's hard to think sometimes.
That's okay. There's no pressure. This is for you all today. Let's see. Katiana, are you willing to share? Screens are moving around. Katiana Pardis, are you willing to share? Okay, we'll have to go to somebody with the video so we can we see on the screen. Demario, will you share something with us? Do you have a question or a comment? Something that's been on your mind?
Yeah. Because sometimes I see videos of people who like go into stores without masks, and it's like some people just like when people like the store owners say wear a mask, they don't want to wear them, and then they start like a big fuss about it, saying they're gonna call the cops.
I've watched some of those YouTube videos as well. And so I think when we're in a place that we're trying to all be safe and trying to follow the rules that will help keep us safe, and we see somebody not necessarily wanting to do that, it causes a little bit of anxiety and a little bit of concern. So one of the things I'm hearing from a couple of you is wanting to understand a little bit more about the crisis management, how to be part of voicing and supporting and encouraging others to do the right thing. And so hopefully that's something we can address today. And I'll be back at the end to help answer some more questions and close the loop on some of the topics. So thank you for bringing that up. Is there somebody else who wants to share? Somebody who hasn't gone yet?
So can you repeat the question again?
Yeah, just tell me, Giovanni, what are you thinking? What are some questions you might have, or what are some topics that you'd like for us to talk about? Or why are you excited to be on the call today?
Okay. why? Okay, so one of my topics is like social learning, which I do, reasons why I like social distancing.
So you do like learning online. You like the virtual learning
Yeah, and both in real life.
and in person. Okay, okay. So a little bit of both. Okay, that's good to know. It's important for us as leaders and as educators to hear from our young people. What is it that works for you? How can we support you? How can we engage you? So thank you for sharing that.
Very
Sheldon, did you
welcome.
think of something?
Yes, I got one.
All right.
So it's technically like what Giovanni said, but so technically I'm just happy that we could actually learn different stuff from this pandemic, but still, we actually need to help other people because there are other people fighting in the streets and doing stuff that they're not supposed to do in the streets.
So there's a lot going on. So you all are appreciative that you can continue learning, that we were able to transfer the learning to the virtual platform and being able to keep some of that going, but also you see the need in your community. And those are some of the areas that we're gonna address today with our dynamic speakers who are each gonna come in and share a little bit about the work that they do and what they're passionate about. And hopefully throughout our time together today, you'll be able to pick up a couple of ways in which you can get involved and in which you can be a voice for your family and for your community. And then the realization that we're in this together. All of these people on the Zoom today, all of the people that are part of your organization and your community, we're in it together. So what you said, we need to do things for others, or someone else talked earlier about how do we address and educate others around the safety and the importance of wearing a mask. There is a lot of learning that we all have to do. And I'm looking forward to the different speakers today and the opportunity that we'll have to engage and to pick up some things that we can each do.